Bose Knows. I'm your host, Mr. Bose, and I'm here with a couple of special guests where we're talking about National Honor Society. So who's with us today?
Hey, I'm Graham Porge.
I'm Reagan Blackmer.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us. So to start out our podcast, a couple of fun questions. Favorite subject in school and why?
I'll start. Mine right now is definitely A-level history. It's really fun learning about the political theories behind different takes on why the Cold War started.
I really like math. I just think math is so fun because I like numbers and understanding different things and theories, I guess you could say. So.
Awesome. So what's your favorite QI story or favorite QI tradition?
It's not a story, but my favorite thing is knowing that Mr. Belcher does not have a full set of 10 toes.
My favorite tradition would probably have to be our pep rallies. I just think they're so much fun and they have so much school spirit, so.
Awesome. So if you could have coffee with anyone dead or alive, who would it be and why?
You can go first.
So I would say Dale Earnhardt just because I like NASCAR so much and I think he was just such an influential person in that, so I think that would be cool.
Someone dead, I would have...
They could be alive too.
I don't know why Marilyn Monroe just popped into my head. I have no interest in that at all, but someone alive, I would have to say Nicki Minaj. No explanation.
Okay. So last one before we get into it. Quality, integrity, respect. Which one and why?
I would say quality, because everything you put out, any energy you put out, any work you put out should always be of quality. And even if you're just doing something halfway, make that halfway point quality.
I would say integrity just because integrity, I believe that you need quality and respect to uphold integrity, so I think it encompasses all of the values.
Great. So let's shift gears and talk about your club/organization, I guess. It kind of falls in the in-between space there. So we're talking about National Honor Society, or NHS. So what does it represent?
So National Honor Society is to honor students who've excelled in the 4 pillars of National Honor Society. Those are scholarship, leadership, service, and character. And it is basically just a community outreach club that helps recognize not only different aspects of the community, but students who excelled in academics and different community aspects.
Wonderful. So why, I know NHS isn't like, oh, hey, I want to be in NHS and you show up like some of our other clubs. So how do you join NHS, or how do you become part of it?
So to join NHS, kind of in like November, December, we'll send out invitations to those who meet the requirements that we need. So it'll be a 3.5 GPA or higher. You have to have 10 community service hours and then obviously be in 10th through 12th grade. And you will fill out your application and turn it in to Miss Knowles, and then we will review your application and we will let you know if you were invited.
Yes, and the application, you fill out different things, how you've helped the community, and like different things about your academic record, and then that is sent to the NHS advisory board, and it is looked over and seen if you would be like right for contributing to NHS.
Okay. And just so our listeners are clear, the GPA requirement you mentioned, is that weighted or unweighted?
It is an unweighted 3.5.
Okay. Great. So why did the two of you decide to join? Obviously, there was a selection process you had to meet first, but then after that, you decided to join. So why did you choose to join?
So I'll go first since I joined before Reagan did. So my 10th grade year, there was not a National Honor Society at the beginning of the year. Instead, the club started to develop, and they sent out the first round of invites to different students who they thought would be interested. It was a very small club. We fit into the back closet of someone's classroom, and I decided to join because my parents were in National Honor Society, and I've always just heard about the good it's done. And not going to lie, we always are looking for clubs that we can put on resumes for our college. So I thought it'd be a very fun thing to not only join like a prestigious club like NHS, but to also help set it up from the ground.
I joined NHS for the opportunities it provided.
Great. So you kind of talked about it in your response of why you joined, but why should others want to join?
Others should always be, not this isn't only for National Honor Society, but this is in life. We should always be looking for ways we can help those who may not have the help they need. And NHS, we really try to find different groups of people, locally and like internationally. We try to find different groups of people that may not be helped to the extent they need, and we do different community service outreach programs. So you should always be looking to just better yourself as a person and better the world around you. And joining NHS, you tackle both of that.
That's great. So you mentioned that the club is relatively new, so it may not have an established thing yet, but what's the thing that NHS here at QI is known for?
So that is actually one of my missions I'm trying to work on this year as president of National Honor Society. So since we are so new and fresh, we have not had a chance to establish what our signature event is, or what is NHS like really at its soul. So this year we are currently bouncing off ideas. Previously, National Honor Society has been known for having student breakfasts in the morning. And this year, that is something new we are coming up with. It's just, what can we do that will have the school coming out to and will be, oh, that event is National Honor Society.
That's great. So what's one of the last questions I have for you today? What, if a student wants more information about NHS, how can they go about finding that out?
So they can come talk to Miss Knowles, or they can reach out to any of the officers, myself and Grant included. And our other officers are Riley Blackmer, Savannah and Autumn Patterson Case, Lainey McKinnon. Yes. And yes, they can reach out to any of us, and we can be sure to get them the right information that they need.
That's wonderful. So before I let you go, do you have any media recommendations for our listeners? So a book, a podcast, a TV show, a YouTube channel, anything that you've been consuming lately that you're like, hey, everybody, you should check this out. This podcast is not allowed.
Oh, okay.
Sir, awkward silence.
I
am a huge fan of Sir Gawain and the Green Knight. That is such a good book, and I have really enjoyed reading every page of it over the summer. And I feel everyone should read that book too.
I would have to agree with Grant, and I'm going to go ahead and say The Great Gatsby. I think it's just such a great book. The storyline is awesome, and I think that everyone should read that book.
All right, thank you to my guests for being here. Listeners, if you like the podcast, be sure to subscribe to the podcast so you can catch future episodes. And be sure to give QI Roberts Student Government a follow on Instagram and Facebook to stay up to date on future episodes and happenings around QI. If you feel we've earned it, please rate and review us on your podcast player of choice and share with a friend. Thank you, Knights, and remember, excellence in all endeavors.